All right, what's up, YouTube? So I got a little bit different. I'm gonna have some Thingo background. Um, I'm currently 70 bits. Oh my god. 17 minutes into a video. I'm gonna let go for a second, and yeah, here you go.
Not grown as adults, and
No,
most
it's
of
not.
We're still siphoning kids to it.
No, I
it
mean,
doesn't-
I see his point. His point is true.
No,
Like,
I'm not
Twitter is
saying-
for grown people.
let me finish. We are not citing anything. Like if you get on Twitter and you see an image because suddenly Twitter decides to uncensor it when it was censored most of the time, like most of them are, like that's not our problem neither. Like Twitter should have more restrictive things on posts that are sensitive. We're not just talking about sexual posts, but I can't probably mention this if you're going to post on YouTube, but I mean, I've seen dismember kids from the war and stuff there. I've seen images that are really, 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 really drastic. So it's definitely a news app not made for kids, neither for.
So if you guys are confused, what's going on is there's a brain rot TikTok or brain rot person on the internet. Not gonna say who or anything, but basically, it's from a YouTube channel called a buddy of mine that I don't know, but I watch his videos a lot. And they're basically saying that Twitter uncensors sexual posts when a lot of the posts are 18 plus and, all this. So basically, like, and I was saying this to myself earlier before recording, and I was like, the only reason I ever use Twitter is for Fortnite leaks or for, I rarely use Twitter is what I'm trying to say. Is I barely use Twitter. The only times I would ever use Twitter is for Fortnite, obviously. Besides that, I don't use Twitter. Like, I've not been on Twitter. Actually, I was on Twitter not too long ago. I want to say about 2-3 days ago. It was only for Fortnite stuff. I don't do pornography. I don't post sexual shit. So what this guy is basically saying is that there's a bunch of uncensored stuff on his Twitter page that is 18 plus content. So it's kind of like, okay, a bunch of all this is happening. So yeah.
Super young teenagers.
It still is possible to be accessed.
That's Twitter's problem. That's something that Twitter needs to solve. And
Okay,
I'm
so
pretty sure
this is my thing, and this is kind of like my whole point of this, like this entire point. Every time that I ask the question of, do you think that your channel, you just immediately point the finger to every other app. You're still not looking at the fact that you are siphoning kids towards these apps. I don't give a shit what those apps do on their side. I'm saying on your side, you are still sending people to those apps where porn is readily available.
Let him talk.
Let me talk, please. I mean,
I'm talking about Beto. You talk plenty. Beto, talk.
Yeah, you've done quite a bit. And my whole point is that you are continuing to siphon kids over to places where there is porn. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you want to admit it or not, you are sending kids to places where there is porn. I do not give a single shit what they do on their end. My point is, your end, you are sending kids to places where there is porn. I do not think your channel is 13 plus. If you did not have the porn part, I would totally agree with you. It is 13 plus. Kind of cringe, a little weird, but it's fine, right? But you still make porn of these characters.
Of course we do, but it's for an
And
audience.
you are sending,
Really
you
marked.
are actively keeping the links there for your kid
that's
audience.
That's our issue with it.
We don't have kids. That's the other thing. Like, if there is kids,
You do though. You have a large
Yes,
child
you
audience.
do.
If
You do. You
look
have a
into
massive child audience.
If you look into your statistics at all, you will know this. If you read comments, you will know this. I have multiple occasions clicked on a Shappy video, went to the comment section, clicked on the first comment, and it is a clear child who has posted content before. You have a very large child audience. You have a very large child audience.
We don't.
And that
Actually,
is the point of that is YouTube. At the end of the day, that is
You don't even
YouTube.
have the demographics of
And that's another thing. YouTube has a lot of kids, and if you're just like, say, feeding them this type of junk or this type of garbage, they're gonna get it into their brains and they're gonna want to know more about it, and they're gonna see stuff that they don't want to be seeing. Like, they don't want to see, dicks or they don't want to see people fucking each other. They would rather learn about that in the future when they're older and they're more mature, because right now, like, little kids are, they're young, they don't know what they're doing. And a lot of kids, if guys were younger, y'all would probably play on your mother's phone or play on your dad's phone. And you would, if y'all, obviously a lot of y'all probably use YouTube, and, this guy or this buddy, this YouTuber, he would pop up. And he's basically feeding porn to little kids. And as most of y'all know, if you guys are a lot older, porn is 18 plus, and it's older for the older generation like me. Or not saying I use it, because what the fuck is wrong with me? I literally have a fiance. And but still, it's like you're feeding this type of content to a younger generation and younger audience, which is one thing I find really fucked up about everything. Because, like I said, you're feeding all this porn, all this, just sexual, intercourse between animated characters, and, I don't like it. I think the guys should be off the internet. And like the podcaster said, it's actively on their channel. And yeah, it's just a very fudge up thing. Let's continue it.
The biggest demographic on YouTube is children, Chappie.
Well,
So
we have-
either age restrict your content that you're seeing in the porn
Okay,
site.
You've had 10 million. You've had more than 10 million views on your channel, right, Chappie? Like, you have a ton.
Like in YouTube.
You have plenty of the data. You have way too much of the data to even still be entertaining this. You have way too much of the data. You know you're lying, dude.
We have the
You
data,
know
that's
your
fair.
demographic is kids.
You're not right. And actually, we also use YouTube
So you
before.
have a ton of adults in your audience. Like, you think
We have 9%. I can tell you exactly what we had in the last 2 weeks and the last 30 days, because I have it. I can see it, I can share it. It doesn't matter. But like, we have 9% of people that are 13 to 17 years old. 25%. It's the truth. And then if they lie about their age,
Everybody knows that
everyone
statistic
lies
is not
about
bad.
that.
Yeah, it's bullshit. My audience is 35 to 44, and you know that my audience is not adults.
And you know what, Chappie? Listen, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's not your fault. If they lie about their age and they get into age-restricted
It's not.
content, that is not your fault. I 100% agree. But I do think it is totally on you to age-restrict your content and at least take the
Or remove
steps
the
to do
links.
all that you can do on your end.
My age.
Because here's the thing. You can do this shit, and bro, there will always be minors that are lying and click on shit. I don't think that's your fault at all. But you are not doing anything to keep them away, and that is your fault.
As soon as they start to ask the ID to make account, that problem will be solved, definitely. But what I'm saying, first of all, and it's a very important point, we have 4,000 followers on YouTube and hundreds of thousands on Instagram. We barely use YouTube anyways. Like, most of the people that are coming to see our videos now, fortunately or unfortunately, or both, come from your channels for actually the criticism videos you made and so on. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, dude. That is such a shit point. That
But
is
it's-
such a
it's
bad
true.
point.
And on
I
one
don't
of
think
the-
we're gonna
That
agree
is
here. We're gonna
such
just
a
move
fucking
on.
bad
Wait,
point.
wait.
Yeah, nah, move on. That is the dumbest thing ever.
I'm not gonna move on.
And let's, because I post on Insta a lot. I don't do all this garbage because, as most of y'all know, there's a lot of YouTubers out in the world who have either been arrested, who have been accused of, for example, pedophile and murder, rape, just illegal activities that are fucked up. I mean, that's just our generation. Our generation is mostly fucked with people doing just ridiculous stuff in the world. And, I honestly find it super fucked up that people have to do all this. Because what's the point? What are you getting out of this? What are you getting? Yeah, you're getting money, but still, you don't need to be doing child pornography because, people can get arrested for that. People can, come after you. People do all this. So, just like, why do you do it? Like, what's the point? There is no fucking point. So, let me know down below if you guys agree, because, child pornography is not something that younger kids should be looking at, or hell, people should be looking at all. Now, yes, if you just want to look at it, if you're interested, which I'm not saying like you should be, because in the future when people have kids, you're obviously gonna have to do it. You're obviously gonna have to have sex. You're obviously gonna have to do everything to then make that child, or you guys can go the safer option and just adopt. But I don't think people want to adopt. So, like, people just need to chill. So, it's kind of like a lot, especially to think about how, like, what people do just to get views and clicks off YouTube and subscribers.
Like, let's finish to talk about this, because it's not a dumb point. It's actually the truth.
It is quite a bad point.
It is a fucking terrible point.
That is a fucking terrible
Here, yes or no? Do you have 18 plus links into your YouTube channel? Do you have 18 plus links?
We have restricted 18 plus links that you need to accept.
Okay, and what is your YouTube channel? Is it 13 plus?
Why is that our fault, And our
Because
channel
you're not taking the proper precautions to keep them away.
You have a responsibility
none of
still.
This fucking shit would have happened, dude. You have the responsibility. You
We
should be
actually-
age restricting your content. You should
like
be.
YouTube
You should
itself.
I mean, you went out of your way to say, look at our Twitter in the TikTok bio at the end of one of your videos.
be. You should
That
be
is
age
true.
You shouldn't
restricting
even
your
need to
content.
tell them to look at your Twitter.
Definitely. Obviously, if people go to Twitter, there is stuff that they can click on and censor or not, and they can see it, because we are honestly consider that we should post on Twitter what we need to post, and at the end,
But you wouldn't
You
need to send the
should,
link
or
on your
just keep the
account.
links away.
Yeah, you could keep
And
the
Or
links away.
age
because
restrict your
because if
channel and do your
If your
thing.
channels are grown, if your channel is full of grown people in the audience and they really do want to look into you, then a lot of them would actually just take the steps to go to Twitter and look you up, and
You do realize-
children wouldn't be looking after
you
you.
also realize that restricting the channel itself at plus 18 doesn't change the fact that these kids will lie and say that they are 18 anyways, because they are already.
But you're doing your
At that
part.
point,
It doesn't matter what the kids do.
At that
If you
point,
label it 18 plus,
yeah,
it'll.
at that point, it's not even your
Let's
fault.
talk. Let
If you
me
do
say-
restrict the channel to 18 plus, at that point, it's not your fault. You've
It
done
doesn't
you've done
matter.
what you
So
can.
not
to keep
necessarily-
them
Let's move on. Let's move on for a second. Shabby, why won't you?
Yes,
Why won't you restrict your channel to 18 plus?
Yeah.
Give me a reason why
Because
you
the
won't.
content that we actually put on Instagram, on YouTube and so on, is actually not restricted.
Why won't you restrict your channel to 18 plus if 90% of your views are above 18?
Because-
you will not be losing
We
anything.
consider that the humor we post, as well as other shows that post.
Did you
very
even
similar
consider
stuff.
the fact that you're siphoning them towards porn?
So, like, you mean we should take off the links of our rest
No,
of
I think you should just, dude, this whole conversation would end if you would just age restrict your content. And you
Well,
just said that 90% of your viewers are above the age
I
of
mean, even
18. So,
removing
hey,
the
it
links
wouldn't
would
even
be
do
still
anything.
helpful, though.
That's
To be
not-
fair,
like,
Yeah,
removing
removing
the
the
links would still
either
be helpful.
if you wanted to be right in this scenario, either A, remove the links, or B, age restrict your content.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is two like.
if for you guys a link that you click on that asks you to be 18,
Give me 1 second. My headphones died.
yes.
It's headset died. Just give me a quick second.
I was saying, if you think that a link that you click on and you go to the channel itself, you actually need to accept that you're 18 to see it, and all the content is restricted until you pay and put your payment method and so on. So you need to have a credit card, or you need to have a payment method and so on that must be on your name or on your parents' name if you're not an adult. If you think that that's also our responsibility, if
See, that's another thing. Even if, like, for example, say I was, I don't know, let's just say for the sake of the video, I was 12. If I went to get my mother's credit card information and I basically said, hey, I'm 18, this is my mother's credit card, it would go straight to her stuff. She would see that I'm trying to access stuff like this, and she'd get pissed. So think about if they did that and they made it, you go get your parents' credit card. There would be so many kids getting in trouble. There'd be so many kids doing illegal things. And I think people that do things like this with, brain rot and illegal activities, I wouldn't say illegal, but 18 plus activities, they shouldn't be on the YouTube, or they shouldn't be on the air. They should keep all of that to themselves. They should keep basically everything and, not do this stuff on social media. Like, social media is a place where people can come together and, hang out, get to meet new people. Not to have sex or, illegal activities going on the platform, or any platform. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, stuff like that.
These people go there and click on it and accept that they are 18 when they are not. We go back to the same point. A lot of people lie about their age, and that's actually fucked up. I do agree with that. But
of course, you could just remove the link and it would solve a lot of issues. And then instead of saying, click the link, which most children would actually just do, you could just say, check out our Patreon. And normally, let's be real, children don't have the time to go and look up a Patreon, look you up your own specific channel and pay for it. Somebody that is actually actively looking for porn of your characters, because let's be real, if they're going to be that down bad, then they're going to take the steps. They're going to go as look for your channel, look for the Patreon, and then also buy the content. Let's be honest.
I mean,
and it'd be a lot easier to keep children away like that instead of having the link to the channel.
First of all, I agree that actually that probably happens, as well as a lot of teenagers actually consume the hub and stuff. Like I said, we have all done that. Like that's not something new or something horrible. It's there, and it's actually something that exists for a long time. And teenagers, especially teenagers, consume pornography. Like at an adult age and so on. Some people still do. Some people enjoy it. Some people develop all kinds of interests on their personal, intimate life. That's for sure. I totally agree with that. But on the other hand, we make sure that yes, there is a link, but there is also an age restriction in the link that if you accept by lying about your age, you're still not able to see the content. I think we have one photo if you accept that you're 18 that you can see, but the rest you need to pay for it, and plus you need to agree that you're 18 years old to see it. If you still
Okay, but we get the point that kids can do whatever they want. If they want to click on an 18 plus link, then that's on them, right? You still have the responsibility to either age restrict or shit, keep it 13 plus, remove the links, because you shouldn't have 18 plus links in a 13 plus audience. And as you said, they can click on 18 plus links to view the content. So knowing that, you have the responsibility to do what you can to not make those 13-year-old kids click on 18 plus content. I don't know what is a big fucking problem. You can age restrict your content, shut up, because 90% of your content is 18 plus, as you said, right? It's adults. So you should have absolutely no issue in age restricting your content so that you're still getting the same amount of Patreon subscribers, you're still getting admittedly the same amount of views, as you say. So what's the big issue with age restricting your content? You should be reluctant and happy that you're preventing 13-year-old kids to view 18 plus content. What's the big deal? Why can't you?
Because, okay, the reason 13 plus should not, or 13-year-olds should not be clicking on just pornography, is because they're young. They don't understand. I mean, yes, they might have heard, sex, or they might have heard a few sexual terms in school. But they shouldn't be looking at that type of stuff. They shouldn't be consuming it. They don't understand, what 18 plus do. I mean, 18 plus, they've been through high school, and they have probably done it. They have probably had sex, or they have probably, by now, they probably have a girlfriend, or they've made out with their girlfriend, or wife, or fiance, or whoever they're with. They have probably done all the sexual stuff because they're 18. So, let me know down if that makes sense, because 13 plus should not be engulfing or consuming pornography like this, especially 13 plus.
Do 18 plus.
We could delete the link if it comes to that, and then anyways, even though it's restricted when you click on it, but what?
And Like, it's a fucked up thing. Really, it really is. Anyway, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And make sure you guys hit that like button if you guys want more, because I'm currently at 27 minutes and 22 seconds. There's it's like this podcast thing's like an hour. I want to say around 2 hours maybe. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys leave a like, and I shall see y'all next time. Peace out, guys.